Let's take a look at the sample balance sheet or the statement of financial position for us to have a clear picture or a bird's eye view of the format of the balance sheet or the statement of financial position insofar as conformity with the IOFA standards are concerned. So here, in this format of balance sheet, assets are first presented, followed by liabilities, then the equity of investment account holders, and the owner's equity or the stockholder's equity. Assets are normally presented in the order of liquidity, which means the amount of time the item of the balance sheet or the items of the balance sheet are converted into cash. There are two ways of presenting the assets, either combining the current assets and the non-current assets, or presenting it separately where you need to present the current assets and the non-current assets. And then we have the liabilities, where normally liabilities are presented in the order of stability or solvency, meaning the capability or the ability of the Islamic financial institution to meet its obligations as they mature. So these are the items which must be disclosed or presented insofar as conformity with the accounting and auditing organization of Islamic financial institutions. So in this first format, assets are first presented, then the liabilities. Then we have the equity of investment account holders. Then after the equity of investment account holders, then the owner's equity. And you can see here the total equity attributable to equity holders of the bank, which also shows the non-controlling interest. So this type of presenting the balance sheet is really familiar insofar as certified public accountants are concerned. We are really familiar with the accounts, whether under assets, the liabilities, and the equity, except that the what is unique insofar as Islamic bank or Islamic financial institution is the equity of investment account holders. Another way of presenting the balance sheet or the statement of financial position is that instead of firstly disclosing or presenting the assets, the liabilities and unrestricted investments are first presented. So as you can see here, the liabilities, then the liability items, then the equity of unrestricted investment account holders, then the total liabilities, unrestricted investment accounts, and minority interest. So that includes the minority interest. Then, or thereafter, the owner's equity. Then after the owner's equity, then we have the assets. So the asset items are presented at the bottom. The statement of financial position or balance sheet may either be presented using the first format as we have presented before, or the second format where the liabilities and unrestricted investments are first disclosed or presented, then followed by the equity accounts, the owner's equity or stockholder's equity, then at the bottom, the assets. But in both ways, the two formats conform with the accounting standards insofar as IOFE is concerned. And normally, these are also the two formats we can see insofar as compliance with US GAAP or IFRS. Another thing I want to share is the presentation of this balance sheet insofar as investments are concerned. You can see here that investments are combined, the investment securities, then the financing assets, the Islamic financing assets. What we have discussed before is that they are presented under one item as financing assets. So that is one way of presenting the Islamic financing products under financing assets, or in this way of presenting it, investments, then we have the investment securities, and also showing the financing assets.